Situated near the center of the Japanese archipelago in Aichi Prefecture is the small city of Komaki, a city with a long history and a deep culture. 16th century Japan was the age of civil wars, and the lands around Komaki are synonymous with the names of the nation's historical three unifiers: Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. At the time the three unifiers were playing their active part in bringing peace to the country, many traditional performing arts were being developed in Komaki, some of which remain to this day. The people of Komaki are proud of their heritage and strive to preserve their traditional performing arts. This is a study group and gathering of the Owari Komaki History and Culture Promotion Association, which regularly meets to study and preserve local traditional culture.
私どもとしては小牧の伝統文化であります小牧の新名社の祭礼を中心とした事業に対して要請を申請いたしました。
The guest speaker is the current head of the Tokugawa clan, Mr. Tokugawa Yoshitaka, who's providing a talk on the preservation of local culture and arts and its connection to protecting peace. Let's take a look at some of the remaining traditional performing arts preserved in Komaki. Komaki's summer comes alive with the Akiba Festival, held annually on the third Saturday and Sunday of August, and the Yoi Festival, held that evening. The festival features 4 large colorful floats topped with karakuri dolls, mechanical puppets designated as tangible cultural properties. This festival began in the mid-18th century during the Edo period and is dedicated to the gods of fire prevention. A long time ago, the township of Komaki was victim to a number of devastating fires. The residents of the old post town created the festival in an effort to protect the area from fire. On the evening before festival day, each neighborhood commences preparation of their float. The floats are decorated in gorgeous tapestries and feature mechanical puppet dolls called karakuri and are illuminated with over 100 traditional paper lanterns. Just after 6 p.m., the festival begins with music performed by local children, and the floats are then paraded through the town. The 4 remaining floats of the Akiba Festival: Nakahon Town's Karakosha, Yoko Town's Seiyosha, Kamino and Kata Town's Yutorisha, and Shimono Town's Seiyobosha. All were made over 200 years ago and continue to be used to this day. As night falls and the area becomes dark, the 4 floats assemble in the center of Komaki and the lanterns are lit. One of the highlights of the festival is known as Donten, when the front wheels of the heavy floats are lifted off the ground by its handlers and the floats are rotated on the spot. Each district vies to rotate the heavy floats the most number of times. Excitement builds as the spectators encourage the young men bearing the floats to do their best. On the following day, the paper lanterns are removed and the bright red festive curtains are hung on the floats. The special karakuri doll puppets are mounted on top and become a main focal point of the day's festivities. The floats and the karakuri dolls are paraded throughout the streets of the old post town. Along the old highway through the former post town are special roof shrines on the old merchants' houses. During this festival, each float pauses in front of these roof shrines to entertain the deity with music and dances by the dolls, as well as to pray for protection from fires. 13 of these roof shrines have been preserved across the town, and the local neighborhoods continue their preservation efforts. In the afternoon, the 4 floats are pulled into the precincts of the local Shinmei shrine and paraded before the deity. The representatives of each neighborhood gather before the Shinto priest and pray for divine protection from fire. It's within the shrine grounds that the music and festivities begin. Although there are many floats for various festivals across Japan, Aichi Prefecture can boast the largest number, featuring the famed karakuri dolls. These karakuri dolls have been treasured and handed down to the people of Komaki for over 200 years. At last, the festival reaches its boisterous finale with a final round of Donten, rotation of the 4 floats. Once the festival is complete, the people of each neighborhood remain busy with the careful disassembly and storage of each float. The townsfolk treat each piece and tool with great respect in the tradition of old Japan. Once the floats have finished their important duty, they're returned to their special storage facilities, and the curtain closes on yet another festival. The omanto is a decorated horse meant as an offering to the deities. The dedication of the Gohonbo omanto is performed annually at Komaki's Shinmei Shrine's Autumn Festival and has been designated a city intangible folk cultural property. The history of the Gohonbo omanto goes back to the early 17th century when Tokugawa Yoshinao, the 9th son of Tokugawa Ieyasu and the first lord of the Nagoya Owari clan, was born. The Gohonbo omanto dedication rites feature the 5 staffs given to the village from the Lord Yoshinao, carried atop a decorated horse. Originally, the festival consisted of a procession led by a flag depicting a monkey painted by Lord Yoshinao himself. The procession marched to Atsuta Jingu Shrine in Nagoya.
馬祭りは私の記憶するところによると戦前からずっと伝統文化として伝えられておったわけですけれども、戦時中は馬がそれぞれ戦場へ徴発せられまして、戦後またこれが復活しました。戦前は約この15町16区の氏子からだいたい50数頭のたくさんの馬が実は参加しておったわけですけれども。
However, as the number of horses used for cultivating fields has decreased, the number of omanto dedications using a horse has also decreased.
昔はこれは東馬場と言いましたんですけれども、東町がそれを運営管理して子々孫々に至るまでずっと今もこれを伝えておるわけなんです。
Komaki Shinmei's Autumn Festival is staged on the second Sunday of October every year and is known locally as the Horse Festival.
回ってください。じゃあ出発します。
The procession leaves for Higashi Town from the old post town starting point and makes its offering facing the Akiba Shrine. After that, the procession makes its way through the town to the Komaki Shinmei Shrine to again make offerings to the gods. One tradition that's been carried out for many years is for men who have reached the unlucky age of 42 to participate in the omanto rites. As the number of horses decrease, to make the festival more lively, many more 42-year-old men take part.
皆様のますますのご健康とご多幸を祝しまして万歳三唱させていただきます。万歳！万歳！万歳！
In the afternoon, the procession reaches Komaki Shinmei Shrine. Here, the tradition of making 3 laps of the shrine grounds in a clockwise direction is observed. While the horses have gone to the shrine, the townsfolk parade Mikoshi shrines and perform shishi lion dances. When numerous horses were dedicated, the specially chosen Gohombo Amanto horse was called the Hanauma. This special horse was seen as a deity, and therefore no one could enter the shrine precincts before the Hanauma horse. Even today, Mikoshi floats and the Shishi lion performers cannot enter ahead of the Hanauma. Once the procession has completed circling the precincts of the Shinmei's main shrine, all participants pray to the gods for a bumper crop, and dancing is performed by a shrine maiden.
いや、今年初めて参加なんですよ。400年も続くお祭りらしいので、頑張って協力した甲斐がありました。
子供さんもいっぱい来たし、やっぱりみんなでわーわーこうやって騒ぐのが本当の祭りから、やっぱり子供が多いのが一番嬉しかった、僕としては。はい。
僕はもう小牧、今の町内に生まれてね、育ってるから、昭和の10年代から今祭りいつもね見てますけどね。毎年というか子供の時このご本坊にねついて回るのが楽しみでね町内から地区をついて回ったもんですね。
将来はですねこれを、昔に戻って花馬を行列隊列に進むにあたっては昔は足軽の格好をして、皆さん行列に伴ったということで、これまたね将来的に今区長さんとも話して、そういう衣装も来期からは考えていこうとこういうふうに思っております。忠実にね、歴史を顧みて、それに似たような祭礼に持っていきたいと、日本の原風景というものを今ように表したい、こういうことです。
Clothed in a traditional coat called a happy and chanting in a strong, clear voice, these men are performing kiari, an old log carrier's song. This kiari or log carrier's chant was sung across the whole of Japan by construction workers and is believed to have started in Komaki during the age of civil wars. Today, the Log Carriers Chant Preservation Group keeps this traditional song alive. Komaki has long cherished its history of being an important part of that Civil War period and its connection to the three unifiers. Oda Nobunaga built the castle on Mount Komaki as a launch pad for his plans of national unification, and the vast castle town was constructed at the foot of the mountain. The Log Carrier's song began during construction of the castle as a means of unifying the feelings of the workers. The Jobu Kiari Log Carriers Chant Preservation Group continues to be a major presence at Komaki's events and festivals. Most of the members are now of advanced age, but everyone is striving hard to preserve the tradition.
もうすぐ受けからよーよーやれでほんで音楽がずっと
昭和51年ですので、厳密に言えば34年ですか。34年が、今年が34年目です。来年で35年に入りますけど、年齢というのは、こういう演技文化芸能というのにはあまり制限はないと思っておりますので、ある程度の人数がなっても維持できるんじゃないかなと私は思っておりますが、またその後もですね、新しい人を募集しながら、若い人、なるべく若い人、本当は子どもさんとかそういう方にも入っていただいてですね、増やしていけば、子ども会の気合いというものも出てくるんじゃないかと思っておるんですが、なかなか大変は大変だなと今のところ思っております。
Today is the 31st time the Kiari Log Carriers Preservation Society has participated in the Komaki Citizens Festival. The group participates every year and is widely recognized by the locals.
この場をお借りしまして披露させていただきます。
There are many different songs and accompanying dances depending on the situation. Today, the first song performed is the Ridge Beam Song, sung when the highest beam of a roof truss is shouldered by all and moved into position. These days, the log carrier chants are performed not just at festivals and celebrations, but also at special occasions, such as weddings, and to wish for people's happiness too. During the performances of the Kiari chanting, the Jobu Preservation Society uses a staff and a fan in accompaniment, an original addition not done by any other groups. It's hoped that the next generation will participate and inherit this tradition and continue it on for the people of this area.
私でも平均年齢がもう70歳に今年なったんですよね。そういう関係で大変あと何年やれるかなという心配も含めながら、新しい人のも、募集かけてもなかなか入らないと、そんな状況でこれからなかなか大変だなとは思うんですが、それでもある程度若い人もいますので、なんとかそれを継続していきたいなと思っております。
One of the traditional performing arts which remain in Komaki is the Kiari Log Carriers chant. Groups dedicated to preserving this art continue to remain active.
はい、ご清聴ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。
Another traditional art often seen performed at auspicious occasions and events is bonote, performed with tools including a wooden stick. Traditional arts utilizing weapons such as swords and staffs can be seen across the entire country. However, bonote can only be found here in Aichi Prefecture. Bonote was developed in the age of civil wars as means by which the unarmed peasantry and farmers could protect themselves. One of the three unifiers of the nation, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, expressed fear in the farmers practicing the martial arts. For riot prevention and to enhance peace, Hideyoshi rounded up swords and arms from the non-military class and banned the practice of bonote as a martial art. During the Edo period, bonote flourished as a traditional performing art and was openly practiced for performances at regional festivals and events. This art is now recognized as a Komaki City cultural intangible property. Today, two associations, the Noguchi and the Okusa preservation groups, are continuing to preserve the bonote traditions.
これは私たちはやっぱり一つの伝統芸能ですから、これはずっと絶やすことなく新しい人たちがどんどん来てくれましてね、今はですねやっぱり親も積極的でしてね、やっぱり子どもの日頃の練習を親も見たい、そういうことで非常に子どもも熱心ですね。幸いなことに今はですね、大学生も高校生も引き続きやってくれるようになりました。
The two remaining preservation groups often participate in Komaki's events and festivals and continue to hand the professional performing arts down. Bonote performances are staged every year at various local shrines, particularly in the autumn. Performances are staged at festivals in the Noguchi area on the second Sunday of October in the Hachiman Shrine, with further shows at the Shinmei Shrine Festival. Until the Preservation Society was formed, bonote was left to a few active adults to perform. Now, children take the lead, and the future of bonote is secure. Traditional drumming has been added to the Noguchi area's bonote festival performances. The powerful sounds of the drum add to the children's performances and renew an old tradition. After the taiko drum performance, the bonote demonstration commences. There is much to master in bonote, and the traditions have been passed down from generation to generation. In Noguchi, the secrets of bonote have been recorded on a scroll. Over 100 various moves regarding the art of bonote have been recorded on the scrolls. And the names of those who inherited the license is also recorded. The art is inherited by the preservation group members and passed on to the next generation. After completing bonote dedications to the Hachiman Shrine, a mikoshi is shouldered and carried to the Shinmei Shrine. The shrine grounds are filled with participants, locals, spectators, and the parents of the children taking part. In Bonote, there are moves designed to use everyday items rather than weapons such as swords and spears. Items such as various length sticks and even umbrellas. These moves retain the skills that hark back to the days when Bonote was a martial art for protecting oneself rather than a performing art. Our wish is that more young people become members of the Preservation Society and learn the skills of Bonote in order to preserve the tradition.
伝統を守るためにね、小牧市内の人たちで棒の手の継承が行いたいという人たちは全てその私たちの会員に入っていただいて、やっていくと。私もこれで70になりますけども、20代からねずっと事務局やっておりますが、この事務局もついてくれるような形でですね伸びていくことを喜んでおります。ただ今までにですねやっぱり一つはその成果の発表というのがありますが、この成果の発表は交流、小牧市と交流しているところはねほとんど行きました。北海道もそうですし、韓国もそうです、アメリカも行ってきました。そういうその交流事業も進めていきたいと、こういうふうに思っております。
The annual Spring Festival, also known as the Komaki Festival, is held during the peak cherry blossom season and is one of the Shinmei Shrine's biggest events of the year. On the morning of the festival, the neighborhood gathers together to prepare the float. This special float can only be seen during the Spring Festival and is known to the locals as Haruyama. The float is equipped with a stage and is decorated with artificial peony flowers. The history of the Spring Festival goes back to the early 17th century Edo period. The Spring Festival is believed to have begun when the first lord of the Owari Tokugawa clan, Tokugawa Yoshinao, visited Komaki and provided artificial peony flowers to the children, who then performed a dance. During the reign of the second lord, Tokugawa Mitsutomo, the currently used Kamio Town and Shimono Town's floats were built, adding to the scale and excitement of the festivities. This festival has continued for over 300 years. The original tools are still used to this day, and the names of the original participants are recorded inside the wooden box in which the decorative curtains are stored. However, over the years, the floats deteriorated to the extent that 2 of the floats had to be dismantled and rebuilt as one float.
伊勢湾台風でね、結局雨ざらしになっててね、ワッパン腐っちゃってさ、で結局とてもじゃないけど2台組めなくなっちゃって、2台を1台に組み直したわけ。それ高山持っててね。で意外とね、この小牧に出汁があるってこと知らない人がね結構あるんですわ。これやっぱし意義っていうかな、ずっと伝えなきゃいかんでね、子孫にはこうね残さなきゃならんということだと思いますよ。
In the afternoon, many people have gathered in the shrine grounds where an air of excitement is building. Meanwhile, regional representatives and shrine parishioners have gathered in the Shinmei Shrine's main hall, and worship rites are performed in anticipation of the coming year. The girls are dressed in their fine kimonos and have had their hair set. They're about to perform their dance on the float stage. This type of Japanese dance hasn't always been the Spring Festival's main focal point. In fact, at the last Spring Festival, a special performance was reinstated into the festivities. During the Edo period, young boys had performed the traditional performing arts called kyogen. It was later enlivened to become a performance of children's kabuki. However, due to the influence of World War II and a decrease in the numbers of child performers, children's kabuki was discontinued. In its place, the current form of Japanese dance was performed instead. Visitors were treated to sweets and rice cakes at last year's festival. It was very crowded, with many people supporting the festival.
今年はですね、例年になく大勢の方に来ていただきました。思いがけずにね、たくさんの人手でもう相当盛大に終わったと思っております。現在子どもの舞踊、日本舞踊をやってもらっているんですが、元来は子ども歌舞伎なんですよね。できればこれからいろいろ調査研究をしながら子ども歌舞伎も織り交ぜて情景を見せてあげたいなということも考えております。
Children's kabuki was revived for the first time in 70 years by the local children and with the support of the Owari Komaki History and Culture Promotional Society. The original Komaki children's kabuki was a great influence on the so-called creator of modern Japanese literature, the writer Tsubuchi Shoyo, who visited Komaki, which was his father's birthplace, and was so impressed by this art, it became the starting point for his research into the world of Japanese theatre. The traditional performing arts of Komaki deeply impressed this great writer, just as it does the citizens of Komaki today, who are rightfully proud of their inheritance.